What's going on, you guys? localjohn1812, and we're back again with a sports weekend update.
Hey, what's up, guys? jrod84 here.
So this weekend, the big fight happened last night, Conor and Floyd.
Yep.
We're going to start the show off, obviously talking about that because it was probably the most important sporting event that happened, especially since it was just fresh last night. The fight was good, entertaining. Both fighters came at each other. Conor early.
Then Flynn and Floyd caught on late, and won by a technical knockout in the 10th round.
And, some question, did the ref stop it too early? But the thing about it is, I think even Conor McGregor, in some other words, he didn't flat out say it, but I think he realized too that even if it wasn't stopped early, he still didn't suggest that if he'd keep going, he'd win the fight. He just said you never know what could have happened, but he knows he was behind in points. He probably would have, if they didn't stop it right then and there, they still had like 40 seconds, I think, or 30 seconds in that 10th round. It might have got stopped within that 30 seconds. And maybe he makes it through the 11th or so, but I didn't see it happening. Floyd was pushing forward and actually being the aggressive one, especially in that anywhere starting from about the 6th round up. And he was really pushing the agenda. So Floyd is now
50-0.
Passing Rocky Marciano. And he says he's completely done. However, it was about a week before the fight, or 2 weeks before the fight, he was on Jimmy Kimmel, and they talked about possibly, he didn't really talk about it. He just said, hey, after this fight, would you ever entertain the idea of actually going into the octagon to fight, Conor or even someone else? And he said, I'm going to get through this fight first, and then he didn't really say no, and he didn't say yes. He just said, you never know, but I need to get through this fight first. Not saying he's going in the octagon, but maybe.
You know what? I really don't think he will. I mean, he probably could if he wants to, but I really don't think he wants to.
No, I don't think that would be... But, okay, for someone who's never been in the octagon before that's going to have to worry about kicks and choke codes and all this other movement, you're going to need longer than 6 months, maybe even a year, to fight someone who's been doing this for like 15 years. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept with a boxer and a UFC fighter. There was a UFC fighter in Conor that came in that ring last night. He knows how to punch. He's been punching people for the last 11 years, 12, 15, 20 years, whatever he's been in the UFC, and his amateur background and where he fought before he got to UFC and all that. So the thing about it is, I think I heard from some other people around me that said, anybody can get in there and box. And I think last night proved no, not anybody can get in there and box properly. I said this analogy, you may know how to change the brakes on your car, but that doesn't make you a certified mechanic. There's so much other stuff you need to know to be a mechanic. Yeah. And just because Conor McGregor is an MMA fighter does not make him a boxer. A boxer is different.
I say the rules and regulations, in the UFC as opposed to professional boxing are entirely different. Some may be similar, but in the final analysis, they're entirely different. And
it's also about timing and a chess match more in boxing. Whenever you can't use your legs, you can't use the choke code, you can't use picking someone up and dropping them. You only have two options, which is your left or right fist. And that's all you have. You can move your body as much as you want. You can avoid hits. But at the end of the day, you have to know which combination to throw at what time. And you have to be a little bit more calculated. In the UFC, you can be crazy, unorthodox, and catch somebody by just, maybe they swing wild at you and you just pick them up and drop them, and maybe you put them in an arm bar or something. Not saying that didn't have to be calculated to do all that. I'm just saying that in boxing, you have to be so precise because you only have two options to work with. That's what we're saying. And that's why I think boxing is a little bit more, it's so one-dimensional. It's so tough. It's one-dimensional. It's like playing goalie, or playing soccer and you can't touch the ball with your hands. Mm-hmm. You're limited. But in soccer you can use your head. But even in boxing you can't use your head. It'd be the headbutt and you can't do that. So. No. But it was an entertaining fight. I mean, I obviously believe Floyd was the better boxer. I choose my words wisely because a lot of people say, how can you say he's a better fighter? I can't say he's a better fighter because fighting, to me, is different from boxing. Boxing is boxing, right? Fighting is where anything goes. Like, I do an arm drag on you, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll punch you or kick you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's different, right? You agree?
Yeah. I would say yeah, in a way. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Two different things. Like rugby's different from professional football. Similar in a way, but completely different things. Exactly. So I think we're both on the same page on that. College football did start off. Was it Saturday? BYU played, I know that, right?
Yeah.
They played Portland State.
Yeah, they played
Who won that game?
To be honest, I don't even know. Cause
Last time I checked, was BYU up? I don't know.
I'm assuming BYU won the game. There was another game late after that. It was Stanford, ranked 14th. They played Rice, 8,000 miles away in Sydney.
And they lost, didn't they?
And Stanford won 62-7. I just caught the tail end of the game.
And wasn't there an upset on TV the other? Wasn't there a college football upset? Something like, it wasn't like, I don't think anybody ranked or anything like that. But wasn't there some lower school that beat a? Because was there more than 2 games on?
I think it was 3 games on. One was an FCS game, football championship subdivision for those who know.
Do you remember the teams?
It was Jacksonville State and Chattanooga, and I didn't even get to see who won.
Well, I don't know if someone would call that an upset. I don't know about those 2 teams good enough to.
Well, I really didn't know.
I didn't know either.
I just say, but for everybody else, the college football season will kick off on Thursday. Coming Thursday.
And do you know who plays? I don't.
Well, ESPN will have Ohio State ranked number 2. They open up at Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I don't usually say this, but let's go Indiana. And I've got Kentucky stuff on still.
Okay, so you're fully... Okay, well, look, hey, just because I got red on, y'all, that's it. Don't let that fool you. Hoosiers? Stop it. Anyway.
Beat those damn Buckeyes. The only thing I like about Buckeyes is the candy. You know that chocolate candy, the Buckeyes? Do you think they sell those at the Ohio State game?
I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I'm sure they do.
That stuff's good.
I say, well, anyway, I say this weekend, like I say, college football season starts. You got some pretty entertaining games to open up with. Like we said, Ohio State and Indiana Thursday. Saturday you got a lot of entertaining games. You got Florida and Michigan.
Kentucky and...
At Southern Miss.
Oh, good Lord.
And
revenge game, right?
Yes. Yes, that is definitely the key word of the day for Kentucky football. Revenge in the opener. Key word, revenge.
And not Revenge of the Nerds movie night. It's Revenge, you better win the game night. Is it during the day or night?
It's during the day. It starts at 3 o'clock.
Oh, thank you. We are tired of this late night Conor and Floyd. 12:30? Good Lord. Okay, now, that's going on. Then not this Thursday, but then next Thursday, right?
Following Thursday, the NFL begins.
And who is it?
He's self-promoting his favorite team right now, Kansas City.
I can't put it on. I can put it on, but it won't feel away. Kansas City.
They open up the NFL season
against the Patriots
on the road against New England.
Yes, we lost Spencer Ware for the year. It looks like he tore a PCL or it wasn't an ACL. It was some other initials for something, PCL or something tear. So he looks like he's out and done. And I talked to someone about it, and they said, "Isn't that bad news for you guys?" Yeah, Spencer Ware was the bigger back of our running back depth chart. He was the bigger, a little bit more already known, established running back. However, Kareem Hunt, who is a rookie, I'm going to say freshman, he's a rookie, and I really like him, and I think he will. It looks like from what I read on Roto World and all the other things that he should take over right now as running back number 1. It still will be somewhat of a committee, but this could be Kareem Hunt's chance to break out. So that's good for us. That I feel comfortable saying that we'll be all right with Tyreek Hill, DeAnthony Thomas, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Alex Smith, And don't forget about Patrick Mahomes over on the bench, just in case something happened to Alex. Patrick's got an arm. So, I hope nothing happens to Alex, though. Patrick needs all the training he can get before Alex says goodbye for good. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I just say, but I mean, you never know. I mean, if Smith goes down, I mean,
You got to be ready.
yeah, I just say Mahomes has to be ready. I mean, I'm not saying no. Mahomes is not going to come in there and throw for like 500 or 600 yards and about 8 touchdowns. I said you do that in college. You can't do that in the NFL.
He might throw for 450 and like 6 touchdowns.
Well, maybe.
No, he's not. He do good though.
I would say maybe not, but 9 times out of 10, probably not.
What about the other injury situation? Let's go back to college. Our Kentucky Wildcats. Drew Barker, Steven Johnson. Johnson's been battling somewhat of something injury before during this training camp stuff. Not training camp, but during
During
football
the
workouts, summer camp.
Yeah.
It looks like he'd be all right to start. Do you think... They said Drew's been lighting it up in practice, doing pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you give Drew that shot again and say he only lost it because of his injuries, or do you just keep riding Steven Johnson? And how big of an injury does it have to be for you to try Drew Barker again?
I'd probably say Johnson will probably have to have a significant injury to his ankle or foot or throw an arm, in order for Barker to start.
What if he only hurts where they say he's only going to be out like 2 weeks, but Barker wins both those games? Do you put Johnson back as your starter? But if Barker looked really good, do you keep? What do? That's a tough question. Isn't that a tough one? Especially,
well, it is a tough one.
Especially if Steven wins like the first. Do we play? Who do we play the first 2 games?
At Southern Miss this Saturday and the following Saturday, Eastern Kentucky.
Okay.
At home.
So let's say Steven Johnson wins those 2 games, but then gets hurt. Then Drew Barker would have to play who and who?
He would have to come in, for Kentucky's first SEC, 2 SEC
Florida?
games. Would know first they're at South Carolina,
right?
Which
they're trying to go for what, 3 or 4 in a row?
They'll try to go for 3-0 and win 4 in a row against South Carolina.
Okay.
Then the following week, of course, is Florida.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Steven Johnson wins the first 2 games. He plays really well, but he gets hurt against the Eastern Kentucky, right? Now, he's out for 2 weeks. Barker comes in, plays just as good, maybe slightly better or just as good, but he beats South Carolina and Florida.
Well,
now, where do you go as a coach there?
Well, if that's the case, I don't know if Stoops will do it or the coaching staff will do it. I say, if that happens, the majority of the fan base would have. If that were to happen, the majority of the fan base would have to go with Drew Barker.
I think you would go with Drew Barker myself too.
I said, that's just from a fan's perspective. Now the coaching staff might go a different route. I said they might decide to put
Johnson.
They might decide to put Johnson in, or probably a crazy scenario. Honestly, wishful thinking. They might. I don't know. They might switch them up.
Yeah, different scenarios.
Yeah, I just say one plays 2. They played 2 games. They start 2 games every game for the whole season. That's just wishful thinking. It's not really gonna happen.
Almost like using like a bullpen for baseball, or you switch your starters.
Yeah.
Or you could even run different plays out there on the field. Keep running Barker in, then Barker off, then Johnson in, Johnson off. So you can do that too. I don't know what it is. I just kind of want to see Barker to have his chance again. I don't feel like he really had his chance.
I just say, they mostly have everybody back. I said, the wide receiver core is, a little thin. Senior wide receiver Dorian Baker, I believe they may have lost him.
I think they lost him for the year.
Last
update I heard, I think they actually said for the year.
Yes.
So that sucks for us. But I think we got enough depth there. That's what I was hearing on Kentucky Sports Radio when Matt and Ryan were talking, and Drew.
I hope.
And Shannon.
I'm honestly hoping. I'm honestly, hoping they can get it together. Because, this is year 5, of the Stoops era. And then they've slightly gotten, better as the year, as his tenure goes along.
Right. And let's hope that trend keeps going.
I said hope so, and you know, with mostly everybody coming back from last year, you know, minus despite a few injuries, if this were oh goodness, I cannot talk. If there ever were a chance for Kentucky to climb into the upper echelon of the SEC, at least just for one season, this season pretty much now would be as good a time as any to do. Because if this doesn't happen this year, I don't know if it's ever going to.
Yeah. I mean, your quarterback situation is pretty good. You got 2 returning guys that can really do anything. Your receiving core was pretty intact. And a few injuries, but...
Mostly everybody from offensive and defensive line are back.
Our tight end's good.
Yeah.
Running backs, Benny Snell and company, they're going to do good. So the defense should be... should be good.
Well, the defense should be better.
Right.
Now, I said, but first things first, they have. As far as I'm concerned, this Saturday's game at Southern Miss is a must win. As far as it's a must, because if they mess around and lose that game,
that'll start the unraveling.
I'd pretty much hate to say that the mojo will pretty much be gone.
If Steven Johnson gets in there and stinks up the joint and they lose, you won't need an injury. Drew Barker will be starter week number 2. So, a lot of pressure riding on everything. And I went back to it again as if I really want Barker to start. Sorry, Steven Johnson, if you watch this. I didn't mean to do that. But I just, there's a lot of hype around Drew. And I feel like Drew didn't get a shot because of an injury. That's all I'm saying. So, other than that, I know at least on my baseball front, the Yankees are 3.5 up in the first place wild card spot. They are 2.5 back in the division behind the Red Sox. I know that for sure with my Yankees. They're doing really good, somewhat. They beat the Mariners today 10-1, and I think the Red Sox lost again. So they've lost like 4 in a row. The Red Sox have. I believe that was their streak last time I looked at it. Now, if they might be playing tonight or whatever, I didn't know that before I did the video, so apologize. But I don't know too much else. I haven't been paying too much. That's it. I've been paying attention to Yankees. That's it. Like I usually do.
Well, I did want to caution you. I said Aaron Judge set a record for like 37 consecutive games with a strikeout.
Well, he's swinging for the fence, guys. He's not trying to swing to make contact. He may say that in press conferences and all that, but he's a power hitter guy. A lot of the big time power hitter greats.
The dude.
They struck out too.
I would say the dude is 6'7", 282.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to hit a grounder pass first. You know what I'm saying?
I just said he's going for home runs.
He's going for broke.
He's going home runs out the park.
If he can't hit that, he'll strike out and walk on the bench. That's just what it was. Didn't Beirut, didn't he have some issues with striking out too? I thought. I don't know if that's completely true. I don't want to say that. But I think he had some strikeouts too. I think he had a lot of them. So
I think he did.
The Yankees are actually going to be good. I think the Twins were up there in second place for the wild card. So the Yankees are going to be good in a wild card spot. I think they could still get past Boston and get that first place. But they're only 2.5 back. You got still decent amount of games left, I think. Right?
It's another month left.
Right.
It's a month left in the season. So.
Right. So about 20 games?
No, not even that. Not even that. It's about 35 to 40.
You think 35? Because I was thinking there's 30 days in a month, and if they have a month left, it's only 30 possible games because 1 day a game.
Honestly, but they got to put an off day for one.
So that's what I'm thinking about.
They got
less
an
than
off day.
Right, so less than 20 or less than 30 for sure, right?
Yes. Well, no. I just said no. Just in case, weather permitting, some of these teams might have to play a doubleheader.
Yeah. And also, too, there might be some other games throughout the year that he didn't get to finish yet. Maybe a makeup game or two in there.
Yeah.
So, that's all winding up and getting ready around the corner. NASCAR happened today. I don't know who won. I don't know what race was going on. I don't know. Did not watch it.
I said I didn't either. I just said believe
They got to step up their damn game. They're losing people. You know it? Gordon's gone. Tony Stewart's gone. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s gone. I mean, Carl Edwards, gone.
Yes, so probably for a lot of people, they're interested in NASCAR. It's probably just,
Declining, and these other young drivers are not at that caliber yet, or not at that level as far as fandom. Maybe technical level, when you're driving a car, they might be. Maybe they're getting there, but as far as
I'd say,
clubs, no.
well, you got to give them a chance to make a name for themselves.
Exactly. Maybe when all these other guys go away, these guys will start making a name for themselves, and people will start tuning back in to watch them. And I think that's maybe how it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Oh, okay. I said we got to get to the NBA. Yeah. I said the NBA season. Starts a little over 7 or 8 weeks.
7.
Yeah, because it starts in the middle of October now.
Right.
And you probably heard about the big possible blockbuster trade. Cleveland sending Kyrie Irving to Boston.
Well, Cleveland wants a little bit more now.
And the Celtics in return sent Isaiah Thomas to Cleveland.
And Crowder. Crowder went. Isaiah Crowder went, and someone else went. I can't think. Was it Al Horford? Did he go?
I don't think so.
They got a pretty good. I know for sure Isaiah. That's Isaiah Crowder, right? Crowder over there. He's with the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went in the trade, I believe, because they had more than one name. It was more than one guy. It wasn't one for one. It was multiple. Isaiah, and then they had like 2 other people or something like that.
Yeah, and then I read somewhere that they were trying to stop the trade. I'm like, oh.
No, they're not necessarily trying to stop it. They're asking for more assets from Boston. They're wanting a little bit more compensation of something because of the hip with Isaiah Thomas, his hip surgery and his hip injuries. They're concerned that that's not going to heal properly, and that their trade that they did is not. It's going to be, in null or whatever it's called, because Isaiah Thomas ain't gonna be able to play.
How's it? But that's
he's all right. It's just a damn hip. He'll be fine. Maybe.
I would say I don't know.
Kyrie Irving's happy though, ain't he?
I'd say I guess he is to be. I really didn't even know that he wanted out of Cleveland.
It shows. It's like starting to show more with LeBron James of how bad, maybe, of a team player he really is. Like, I could just see LeBron, like, I know everybody says, you don't know him, you're not in that locker room. So how can you judge? How can you say this?
Well, I can't judge. Hell, I'm not in the locker room with him, so I really don't know.
But this wouldn't be the first time we've heard something. When Kevin Love first came over, Kevin Love had issues with LeBron James. Kevin Love really kind of wanted out of there. They worked it out. Kyrie Irving starts having problems with LeBron James. Kyrie Irving wants out. He got out. Isaiah Thomas will have problems with LeBron James.
Well,
for at least 1 year.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they can get everything worked out, before the season starts.
It doesn't. I heard it made them better than Golden State, and it does not make them better than Golden State. They don't have enough shooting. No, they lost. No.
I just say, come on now. Golden State, they got. You got Curry and Thompson lighting it up from 3-point range.
Hey, Durant.
And I said Durant was who was the X factor.
And Draymond Green.
No, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Come on.
They got Andre back too, didn't they?
Yes.
Come on,
I just
say because they're winning championship. What, next 2-3 years? You think?
I said, don't be surprised. Golden State, I'm pretty sure, will be the favorites to win.
They will.
Again.
They will.
I'm sure. Oh, I said, well, also on another personal note, I said, like to, send hopes out for the city of Houston.
Oh, yeah. Whole state of Texas who's dealing with that hurricane right now.
Yes, Hurricane Harvey has just, it's just wreaked havoc on Houston. I've seen several pictures, online of, the city, of the city just basically almost going underwater. And then it's going to take a while for Houston to recover. And so now it's been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it's nevertheless. If you look at any of the pictures, it's devastating. It's really devastating to watch.
And all you can do is in this situation is if you're there close to it enough and you got time, you got resources. Or you can do something, go help if you can. If you're not there, you can't get there, you can always pray. And if you don't believe in God, I would like it if you did, but if you don't, then you'd have to at least, you don't have to do anything, but maybe have them in your thoughts since you don't like the word prayer or something, just in case it might offend somebody. So, don't want to be like that. Yeah. Other than that, we covered a lot in 25 minutes. Not bad.
No.
Do we have anything else? I don't.
No, don't have too much else.
I think it's been a good show. I think we're gonna have a lot more to talk about next Sunday or Saturday because of college football.
Yeah, so college football starts this weekend.
And also to look on for this channel, we'll be doing our own fantasy football show. That we'll talk a little bit about our own league that I've created, that I'm the commissioner of, that J-Rod plays in also, and we'll talk about that league. But we also are going to do just maybe talk a little hint on fantasy football tips and who we may like or whatever. We may go look at some other people's website information and do some research. We're not going to steal everything from everybody. Everybody kind of repeats everything they hear, but we'll try to put our own twist on it. So look for that coming up soon.
Yeah, I just say we've had plenty of NFL preseason football going on this weekend.
Oh yeah.
The last of the preseason games are Thursday.
So if you want to watch the little, and that should be a lot of third string guys who may not be making the team, are going to get to play that last time to try to impress that coach one more time. Mm-hmm. I doubt you see any starters on that field for that remainder preseason game.
No, you're not going to see any starters.
No starters. Mm-hmm. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all we got for right now. We're at 26 minutes, and it's going to end up going into 27 as we say goodbye. Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
comment,
share.
You do all those things, we'd really appreciate it. And we'll be back next week after college football. So, all right, guys. See ya. Peace.
Take care.